And here comes the news that none of you can actually be prepared for. Nice doggy. Nice doggy. 'Tis the season to be jolly, tra-la-la-la-la, la-la-la-la. Indeed, well, my lovely companion right here is very shy about exhibiting her singing voice, but me, I have no shame whatsoever. And it seems to be, though, the case, folks, that, you know what? I think the tidings of joy will be changing in the next couple of years when it comes to video gaming, because thanks to Smash JT himself, Jeff Tarzier, he dropped a banger video last night, and I thought, how did this man find out this information? He's a regular Columbo. He's putting me to shame. So without further ado, folks, we're going to get into today's video, because I got to say, CD Projekt Red, as they are now known as, are truly licking their wounds.
Jason King came here to motorboat fun bags and kick ass, and he's all out of titties.
Yes, hallelujah, it's the video show. And now, the man the BBC calls...
Jason King on Kung Fu Hot Dog.
And before I get into today's video, folks, I want you to go out there, find Mjolnir, bring it back into your house, and smash my subscribe button into a million pieces. And without further ado, folks, let's look at this wonderful article by Jeff Tarzier on his own website called SmashJT.com. Now, as if the trailer for Witcher 4 was absolutely terrible, showcasing the talented Unreal Engine 5, I think Unreal Engine 5 is one of these arbiters of actually showing too much detail, especially the face of Ciri from the next Witcher game. I shall say no more. What Jeff goes into here is how the veterans of the CD Projekt Red of yore, when it was a fantastic game studio that everybody celebrated, including Holly Bennett, who used to be on PlayStation Access, and it turns out she left that position because CD Projekt Red wanted her to work for them, and I believe now she's no longer with them, so never mind. I hope she didn't burn her bridges at Sony PlayStation Access, but then again, that's Sony. They used to have a great studio called Naughty Dog, and I don't really care about them anymore. So what is really cool about this article? It's man, you know what? Let's just go to this website, because some of the guys and the gals at CD Projekt Red of yore have formed this badass webpage called Rebel Wolves. So Rebel Wolves is a new studio, but our team has years of experience working on some of the most critically acclaimed video games of all times. We co-created titles such as The Witcher 3, Cyberpunk 2077, and many others, which I think is absolutely wonderful. So we're industry veterans, and I think, you know, you've got to kind of get that out there. If you want to be proud of having things in your resume, that'll be one thing I'll be boasting about. Now, I want you to look at the simple 3 bullet points under values. Forget the mission statement. I think that's pretty much self-explanatory, because if you read it, it's like it's 5 short paragraphs. Well, 2 paragraphs and a partridge in a pear tree. So fairness. We want to be fair with each other, with gamers and our business partners. And when it comes to business partners, when you see who's actually backing these guys and girls, it will shock you to your core. Teamwork. We want to create a space where diverse developers come together. Be careful now, that's not what I'm talking about. To create something that's bigger. And it's the sum of its parts, which is true. Where people support each other and help one another grow. Sounds like an Elton John song. Openness. We appreciate honesty. We want to hear your thoughts and promise to consider any feedback and take it seriously. We're experienced, but there's still plenty we need to learn, and we'll appreciate your input. Now, by contrast, when you go to CD Projekt Red, their former employer, it seems to be good. Okay, meet us, join us, our locations. There's no DEI messaging on here, actually. And in fact, they've kind of removed certain things like what they're about. I've got a playlist regarding CD Projekt Red, so if you go to those videos, you'll probably see what the old website used to look like before they went around making a few sneaky changes. And the thing is, you have to actually go into Google and type in CDPR DEI to bring up this monstrosity right here, the all-female girl program, where women of all shapes and sizes and maybe ethnicities can create their very own video games where the female characters aren't sexualized for the male gaze. Boring. And of course, folks, the reason why I like to mockingly call CDPR Projekt Dead is because they hire people like Cayenne or Cian Ma, who actually wants to assault gamers. Now, what am I talking about? Well, this meme he posted here, where he says, I am once again asking for you to stop being toxic little weirdos. And this gentleman right here looks like Paul Chato, the other YouTuber that I like on occasion. So it's rather funny that CDPR are very proud to have morons like this guy working for them, who, like Titty Gabrielle and her best mate Neil Cockman at Naughty Dog and that intergalactic game, like to turn the tables on the gamers who don't like their product. Yet, when we voice our objection, we're ists and phobes and all other assorted goody nicknames. So, Kian or Cian Ma, you, sir, are an absolute buffoon, and you might need to go and check in with a doctor and get a psych evaluation. Here are some of the veterans of the former CDPR, and in fact, on their website here, you'll get to see what they look like. I mean, have a look at that. There's some right chads who are working here, and some chadettes as well. And I've got to say, they're rather lovely looking, aren't they? So we've got what, 8, 9, 10, 11. So 11 people. And if you want a career, you can join the pack. The Lone Wolves. But technically they're not alone. So you can't, if it was a one person running the whole studio, that would be badass. But it's 11 people and that's pretty cool. And I like that. So already they're actually advertising for people who have got seasoned experience in the video gaming world. So if you're a combat designer or a senior performance programmer, then give Rebel Wolves a call, like Ghostbusters. And if you want to know who are the backers for Rebel Wolves, it's your friend and mine from China, NetEase, the people who have actually bamboozled video gaming right now with their redesigns of Marvel Rivals. You know, the free-to-play video game where Psylocke and Black Widow look absolutely stunningly sexy compared to what they would have been if they were left in the incapable hands of Western video gaming designers. And actually, I do find it quite funny that NetEase have secured an investment with Rebel Wolves. It's pretty insane, actually, because this reminds me. Now, by the way, I have to say very quickly, folks, yes, China might be a communist country. They do have the CCP after all. So if they weren't communist, why is there a communist party politics representing them? But that might be a minor aside. But what this reminds me of is the Harrods deal in the UK, where Al Fayed, everybody's favorite tiddler, walked into the store in the 1980s with a fake business deal and was able to purchase Harrods and become its chairman and predator in the process. And the British government did nothing about it. Now, I'm not saying China seemingly taking over the Western video gaming hemisphere with companies such as NetEase is a similar type of thing, because again, if you look at the NetEase website, which I'm going to go to right now, business corporation, games, news, careers, business contact, nothing about DEI or ESG, because these guys and gals haven't got time to waste with shit like that. And I am forever grateful for that. So whatever your thoughts and feelings are about Chinese investors coming into the Western video gaming hemisphere, just remember, folks, that China likes to see beautiful women and buff guys battling out on screen in good old-fashioned entertainment. In fact, when it was lockdown and Disney couldn't even convince China to screen Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rim Rings in cinemas in their country, they just said, forget it. Simu Liu is an ugly dude. He's not what we call good looking. And secondly, we don't need America's movies to be a success in China, because we can just make our own entertainment. And that's exactly how it's working out, which I think is absolutely funny. But just going back to Jeff's article here real quickly, folks. So parallel to Rebel Wolves, there's another studio called Blank. It's also emerged from the ashes of CDPR's talent pool of fools, formed by Metus Kanik, who is both the game director for Cyberpunk 2077 and the co-game director for The Witcher 3, alongside executive producers Jadrez Moroz. I'm killing all these Polish names. I'm so sorry, people of Poland. And Marcin Jeffimo. Blank aims to redefine game development. So it's kind of curious to see what they're doing, and I think they've secured an investment as well from a South Korean business firm as well. I remember this now, who are responsible for Liza P, which by the way is on my Steam list to buy. So that is actually very cool. It's NeoWiz. Never heard of them, but again, if I go to their website, are we going to see $17 million? That's a lot of tosh, man. That's a lot of money to get as an investment. I mean, there's no excuse, right? Again, if you're getting a $17 million investment, it suggests to me that the games they're going to be making will be less budgeted, but they look like AAA bangers. That's what I'm thinking. And I'm sure these guys have got some equity behind them anyway to get their studios up and running, which I think is rather awesome. And by the way, this is the actual official YouTube page for Rebel Wolves. I'm a subscriber and currently has 1,016 subs. I'm pretty sure after the signal boosting of my video and Smash JT's, these subs are going to go up. But Red Wolves, or should I say Rebel Wolves, can I just say one thing to you guys and gals? Turn your comment section on. Don't turn them off. You need engagement. And if you need someone to oversee that for you, give me a call. I'm looking for a job at the moment. Nice doggy. Yeah. Anyway, what I was actually getting around to saying here, folks, is this. When Blank and Rebel Wolves are fully established and they're gaining traction in a positive way from people who like the output of their games, you know what's going to happen. And even I could foresee this long before Jeff Tarsier started to write this article on his website. Because you know the mainstream media, once they get a whiff of this, once they can smell the anti-woke stench from these exciting developers, what are they going to do? They're going to say to them, why aren't your games inclusive? Why don't we have this faction in here? Why aren't there representations in this particular RPG dark fantasy? Because mainstream media, folks, are twisted individuals. They've got mental health issues. They don't want to admit it, but when they do, they'll just probably check themselves into the Betty Ford clinic and drink themselves into an oblivion. I have no idea why I said that, but you know what? I I'm on a roll. It's Friday. I've got my titty juggle statistics waiting in the corner over there, and even my phone is getting rather excited too. So I just want to throw this one in here because you know it's going to happen. Because I guess in the West especially, nobody wants to celebrate a success story. And I'm going to put my reputation and my dong on the line. But I think, especially for Rebel Wolves, and I'm going to say to an even maybe slightly lesser degree with Blank Studios, that they will be overnight sensations in video gaming. People are going to lose their minds when, shock horror, we get to own our own physical copy of their games, and also we get to play an absolutely badass single player campaign all over again. Oh my gosh, it's 2009. So how do you feel about that, guys? And by the way, I neglected to mention that what Rebel Wolves are working on is a saga of RPG dark fantasy video games. So really, your mouth, if it wasn't watering before during this video, and there might be other reasons why it could be watering, then you should really start sitting back and tantalizing what this saga of games, obviously spells a trilogy to me, could be. I hope it's something like Thundra or He-Man, just taking those universes but making them more twisted, dark and evil and big titties all over the place. So I will say this much, folks. I worked in Poland in 2018 on official government business. It's a beautiful country, beautiful police lady officers. I had to bring that into the mix. And the people are just absolutely wonderful. They've got a great work ethic. And, well, back when I went there, it was pretty cheap to live in. I don't know about now because obviously Poland is one of these countries that you might underestimate it at first, but it's got a lot going for it, especially when it comes to absolute talented video game developers like the guys and gals at Blank and also at Rebel Wolves. So if you enjoyed this video today, make sure you give it a like, smash that subscribe button into a trillion pieces, and I'll catch you catching me catching her for the return of my next video.
You guys might not know this, but I consider myself a bit of a loner. I tend to think of myself as a one-man wolf pack.